Simon, get us in here. It's so nice to be back with my old friends, old people such as myself. I'm Holden. It's the Wishbone, Week 18 edition. We do have one Uncle Terry Niehaus. We do have one G-Rizen. And, of course, also JT Hayes, who always has some witty banter to bring to the table on this show. What I'd like to start with, though, boys, is pick a number 1 through 10, and whichever one of you gets it right is the one that goes first.
Okay, I'll go ahead and start. Yeah. So, yeah, you want me to start, you said?
You know what? Screw it. Screw the numbers. You're an alpha right now. Take it, mount it, and run with it.
I thought you were going to put me third since I interrupted you.
No, I love it. Go for it.
No, I mean, always good to be back with my three guys, right? Week 18 has come, and it feels like, in all honesty, that it was yesterday, week 1. Football season goes by so daggone fast. Week 18 is going to suck, but, it's good. G-Rizen, I see he's making fun of me up on his whiteboard there, immune system of a 90-year-old. I don't appreciate that, but, hey. It is what it is. I've got three in my house with COVID. You guys acted like I didn't see that earlier when you guys were giggling like a bunch of little grade school kids.
Who's giggling about that?
That's
no one's giggling about that.
More importantly, it's good to see JT. It feels like I haven't talked to him the whole month of December. I mean, he goes out on these cruises. He's got, I'd love to be rich like JT and have the money JT's got. You can just travel the world, and in the month of December during all the COVID times, and you just travel wherever you want. I'm just very jealous, JT.
You know what? I get to call timeout. For one, you three bums took the week off. Out there sunning your asses, and I had to do a show with Title and Rubio. You three just done left me. I should at least have the honor of going first.
How horrible was that?
The only one still here, taking one for the team, and then, you guys are no respect around here. No respect.
I didn't know you did a show with them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I had to get on there with Rubio and Title, and I had to, talk to these young lads about, different things in life. And, it was a good time. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy getting on and seeing their shiny faces. But, hey, one of us had to get on there and take one for the team. We had to keep the Wishbone going, that's for sure. But it was fun. But I hope you guys all had a good New Year. Safe New Year, I see. Looks like Holden may have had the roughest of the three. I mean, he looks like he's still suffering from his damage that he did to his body, possibly. Probably ate too many.
I had that hernia surgery, you dumbass. Don't you remember?
Yeah, I get it. But hey.
Yeah, fuck it. I didn't have to shower for days. And I went to the gym today, by the way.
That. I mean,
you know what I did?
Hernia surgery. We'll be hearing about this 2 months from now.
I went to the fucking gym today for the first time, and I walked for 25 minutes on a treadmill.
Since surgery. Have you had a workbench session since surgery?
No, I can't. All backed up. All pipes are all backed up, Uncle T. Thanks for asking about that. Since you've talked about it, let me get really in depth. JT Hayes, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'd like to talk about the spread pod that G-Rizen did, but obviously none of us listened to that fucking thing. That didn't happen. And as the people already know, they're in for something special because we're recording this a little later in the evening. And we've got late night Holden, which is honestly, it's my favorite Holden. It's barely lucid Holden. It is just about the most exciting thing that you can have. But I thank you for asking. I wasn't on a cruise. I don't know what thinking about. I know he's been sick. He's got brain fog from his 38th bout with COVID. But listen, I was away with the family. I got to see, as I was telling you guys before the show, I got to see the inside of 3 new airports: Bozeman, Montana, Missoula, Montana, and I spent a very nice 10 hours in Salt Lake City. So it was good. It was a nice trip. I'm good to be home. Good to be back. Good to be with you guys. I got so many things to talk about. It's so exciting. Such a exciting week. So much exciting news, Holden.
Did you dress up like a cowboy?
I didn't. I did dress up in some snow gear, and I'm not a cold winter person, so.
Why were you out there, though? For fun?
Yeah, that was what I was told.
So you went to Wyoming in the dead of fucking winter, And Salt Lake
Wyoming's
City, which
Wyoming's
is
actually
beautiful.
a different state. Wyoming's a different state, but it was Montana. Yes, Montana. That's okay.
Same
Holden.
fucking
We'll
thing.
keep you on track, baby.
Same thing, just more, less people up in Montana. It's Salt Lake City, though. Beautiful mountains.
A little warmer in Wyoming.
Airport. Salt Lake City has a very nice airport, I must say, JT Hayes. To
Beautiful.
be stuck at any airport, that was a good one.
They just redid it, and the Delta Sky Club there was top notch.
Oh, the Sky. Uncle T, when you fly, you definitely have a Sky Club membership, don't you?
Excuse me?
He's got a Mile High Club membership.
G-Rizen knows exactly when to come in with the correct statement. Exactly right, G-Rizen, exactly right. What was the question? I wasn't paying
You
attention.
are a part of the Mile High
were-
Club? Are you part of the Mile High Club?
Aren't we all?
No, I've never had sex on an airplane in the air.
Oh, what a loser. You seriously?
No. I've never felt
What a
to
loser.
have sex in an airport
have you-
bathroom.
Have you been on an airplane?
Airplane bathroom. Many airplanes, yes.
Oh, all right. I mean, you haven't lived yet. I mean,
Where did you have sex on an airplane, Uncle Tim? Was it in your seat or in a bathroom?
yeah.
So you were bluffing. You haven't done that. And
Absolutely, I was bluffing.
Oh, Uncle T, I thought you were serious, man.
No.
Antonio Brown.
Oh,
Antonio Brown. Oh, Uncle T, I'm not going to let you take first this time, pal. G-Rizen, I know you feel like you deserve first place, but you know who I want to hear from? Besides for myself, that'll be JT Hayes to start the Antonio Brown conversation. Just a wonderful story that keeps getting richer by the day, JT Hayes.
Yeah, it depends on which version you believe. Our beloved Simon just tweeted out a story from Antonio Brown's friends, and I love Simon, but he responded to this like it was serious. Like this was not some PR bullshit that whoever handles Antonio Brown is putting out to try and suck more money out of him before he can't play football anymore. But I don't want to make this about mental health. That's a serious issue. By the way, Holden, I did watch and listen to the interview with Lisa Ann. That was really, really powerful stuff.
Yeah.
In fact, Kleenex wasn't enough. I had to go out and I had to get sandbags to stem the flow of tears from what was going on there. But listen, regardless of anything going on, find me another job where if you don't like what's going on, you could tell your boss to go fuck themselves, strip down, and run out of the building like it's on fire.
Radio. Basically, I had done that almost. I mean, I kept my shirt on, but definitely in radio.
Pantsless?
Yeah. Oh, no. I had my pants and my shirt on, but, go fuck yourself was definitely mentioned. It was not a great career move when I was young, but things will happen.
uh-oh.
Verizon has entered a coma.
Here we are trying to do a professional podcast, and Uncle T doesn't know how to turn off the country music on his computer.
I think that's G-Rizen.
That was me.
Maybe. Yeah. What are you talking about, Holden?
Oh, Uncle T! All apologies.
He's probably
All
got
apologies,
some kind of
Uncle
porn site
T.
up, some kind of country porn site
Uncle
up.
T.
He's got music.
I'm playing
I'm
Take
so
This
sorry,
Job
Uncle T.
and Shove It. Because
Uncle T's not listening to country music. Busy trying to inject himself with Clorox.
Can we mute G-Rizen?
Yeah. Let me see if I can mute him. Hold on.
You can't.
Yeah, he's muted. Okay. Get your shit together, G-Rizen. Get it together, bro. You can't be playing country. We can't hear you.
You're on mute. You got 30
You
seconds.
can't
of time out.
override my control here. Okay,
Yeah,
listen. Huh?
I unmuted you.
Hey!
Neglected to mention to the people that we get late night G-Rizen too. So this is really,
Right.
I'm muting your ass again.
This could be. We could finish this show with just me and JT here in about a half hour.
we'll be the only ones awake by the end of this. There's no question about that.
Hello. Hey, G-Rizen. On the board. on the board behind you.
JT, take over the hosting job.
Oh, G-Rizen, what do you think about Antonio Brown?
You know what? I believe there's more to the story that's going on, and I also believe he's going to end up playing again here soon in the NFL. I don't think he's done. We haven't seen the last of Antonio Brown.
They haven't released him yet. They haven't released him yet, so
right.
There's a lot of maneuvering going on.
Yeah, I think. Think about it. What if he lands in Tennessee? The Titans got a week off, the number 1 seed. They're going to bring back Derrick Henry. Now you add Antonio Brown to A.J. Brown. I mean, now I think they
sign him. Dude, the league isn't going to play.
One of the things. So, two of the rumors. I guess there's multiple sets of thought on this, but one of them is that there's a provision in the NFL bargaining agreement where a team can suspend a player for actions detrimental to the team for 4 weeks. So that would prevent him from signing with another contender, which could be a concern. But then another school of thought is, hey, maybe there was a real misunderstanding here. And, oh, by the way, the defending Super Bowl champs don't have Chris Godwin, and this was their go-to guy for Brady. So can they solve this? I don't think that's going to happen. But I also think they do want to make sure that he can't sign with another team just because of the very reason you make.
I think the most glaring thing that stood out to me in this whole situation was, excuse me, A, that was funny what he did. But B, at the end of the day, it would have been very easy for his team to pile on him, say how big of an asshole he is because of the COVID situation that, with the fake backs card. It would have been really easy for guys just to pile on and say, I want him out of here. He's a douche. You know what? And we didn't see any of that. Matter of fact, we saw Tom Brady stick up for him. So, I mean, that tells me a lot of the story right there. To me, I think the players somewhat seem to be on his side. Nobody's really piling on him. You hear, yeah, maybe he needs some help, whatever else. We all kind of understand he's a troubled individual. But, I mean, he still is a top. I mean, I've seen talk where people still think he's one of the best receivers in football.
He is.
Yeah, I don't think there's a doubt about that. But for him to get back on the field, this can't be he's dealing with something, right? I don't think you get back on the field with I was having a bad day. So I think for him, it has to be, hey, there was more to this injury, or Arians didn't understand, or something like that, because the action itself was just so goddamn egregious. I mean, funny as hell, but just one of the more ridiculous things that you'll ever see an athlete do.
It took a second for my brain to comprehend really what was happening. When I saw him take his shirt off and he was running, I thought, this dude just quit. He's literally quitting. Like, I've never seen that. That's one of the most bizarre exits in sports. I mean, we can talk about some of the best ones, Jeter hitting a home run and, stuff like that. But, man, Antonio Brown, a Hall of Famer, if that ends up being his last play in his career, wow, that's
is he a Hall of Famer? I personally think he is.
I do.
And I think for a period of about 5 years, he's right there as the best wide receiver in the National Football League. And if it wasn't every year, it was a couple of those years. But he is a Hall of Famer. Like, he's accumulated enough stats, because I feel like he had a good 6-7 years, which is terrific, but are you going to need a bigger body of work than that?
Yeah,
I would – go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, back when, 5-6 years ago playing DFS, you didn't have Antonio Brown and Ben Roethlisberger. There was most weeks you weren't even thinking about, cashing or doing anything. Those guys have been so good for so long. I just think we get to Big Ben. I've had discussions today. Is he one of the most underrated first ballot Hall of Famers we've seen in a while? He just came around some other really good quarterbacks that have kind of shadowed what kind of great career that guy had. But Antonio Brown, for me, is a first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt in my mind. But, yeah, it's sad to see if his career ends like that. I just don't feel as if deep down it's over. I think something will come of it. I think Tom Brady on his side is the only last leg that he has of even having a chance to stay a Buck, if that's the case. Obviously, we know they haven't released him yet.
He's done.
I think he's done in Tampa, but we'll see. if he comes back next year with anybody else. I mean, I don't know who'd give him a shot, but I still think he can play.
JTAs?
I think it's going to be tough. Like I said, I think for him to get back on the field, there has to be a whole lot more to this story because I just don't see. I mean, think about it. He's only with the team. This is my own opinion. He's only with the team after the fake vaccination card issue because of the Godwin injury. So
and Tom Brady.
Well, but even listen, if Godwin was healthy, I don't know that that's enough to bring him back from that.
I do. I think that was Tom Brady's guys. You go look at his numbers with and without Antonio Brown, even with Godwin and Evans. He's just so much better with Brown on the field. He really is, and that's his guy.
That argument still exists, which makes it all the more. I don't think he's coming back. I think they're done with him. But the fact that they haven't in 2 days filed the paperwork, right? And they're probably just figuring out a way. How can we prevent another team from signing him, just in case another team wanted to take that on heading into the playoffs? Which is, he's a great talent. That's why we're talking about this. If he was not a great talent, he would have been gone after the Steelers.
You think they're Uncle T? Little Antonio Brown action?
Yeah, I'm taking a little bit of the opposite approach of G-Rizen. I to say he's a sure ballot first ballot Hall of Famer. I disagree with that, and with all due respect, to say he's a surefire, I don't think he is. I don't think he's going to play again this year. I don't think he's going to play again at all. I just think the act of this guy is wearing thin on everybody. I mean, to think like he had to be set up in the perfect scenario the last couple of places that he's been, and he's just trashed it. Like, I mean, he's basically getting handed the keys to, the perfect situation. He's been with Tom Brady. Hell, Brady brought him in to live with him there. What was it, last year, the year before? I mean, I just feel like he's just getting too many chances. Clearly, he's got issues. I'm not, again, like JT said, definitely not wanting to bemoan the fact that he's, going through some stuff. But just all of that alone, just to say that he's got some talent, that he's going to be able to get another job. Maybe he does next year, but I don't think he's playing again this year.
Oh, he's definitely not playing this year. I will put a large sums of money on that. But next year, if he's back, who knows? You know what happens, Uncle T? People like –
I mean, Josh Gordon's gotten 17 chances.
Yeah,
it's a different scenario. I'm just saying, like,
different.
If you got some talent, clearly you're going to have multiple chances to hang on. And I'm not saying he's at the twilight of his career, but he's clearly not at the peak. And
getting older.
I don't think he's a top echelon receiver at the moment. No, I don't think he's even close. So I'm not really sure if that's a hot take or what, but I didn't think it was. I mean, this guy's definitely not a top 10, top 15 receiver right now, in my opinion.
I think he is when he's healthy.
Well, I mean, you could clarify stuff with everybody. We mean when he's healthy. I mean,
all right. So for the 5 or 6 games he actually played this year, he was a top 10 wide receiver. He might have even played more.
He's in the perfect scenario with the perfect quarterback, the best quarterback of all time, and he still screws it up. So again, I'm not being insensitive at all. I just feel like, again, I just think he's wearing thin on me. I mean, it was all funny what, all the memes going, around on Twitter and stuff. Those are actually, you can't help but to laugh. But I think the guy needs some serious help, and I don't think he's a sure ballot Hall of Famer, G-Rizen. I just don't. I'm not saying he won't get in. I'm just saying I don't think it's a complete lock that he gets in. I mean,
I agree with you on the first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't know about that. I think his success has been very inconsistent because of these issues. But when you say that, I hope he gets around, I hate that. I hate that about this society, that someone acts out like that. That's like, I hope they fucking grow up. Yeah. I hope he learns how to hold down a job, because he's going to need to at some point in his life, the way that these guys live, if he can play football. That's why I think you're seeing these Antonio Brown friend stories that, I mean, listen, tomorrow they'll have the guy in a surgery trying to amputate his leg, saying, see, it really was an issue.
G-Rizen, could you imagine him right now trying to hold down a regular 8 to 5 job somewhere in like a some kind of business or studio or, where and he just gets pissed at his boss. He just takes everything off and just says, screw you guys, I'm out of here.
He couldn't even work here.
I couldn't see that. He'd be an ass. I actually, I don't know if it's urban legend at this point, but I know being here in Michigan, he went to Central Michigan, here in Michigan. So there's a story to where some friends of mine know a guy who had his bike stolen from Central, gone. It was a older bike that was easily distinguished, easy to point out. And the rumor is all of a sudden 2 weeks later, here Antonio Brown goes riding by to practice on this dude's bike. Basically like Debo did not give two shits, stole his bike, and they're all laughing and they're like, whatever. We got a new bike now. He can have that old piece of shit. But yeah, dude stole somebody else's bike. Now he could have bought it, could have found it, whatever. Who knows? But my buddies all laughed that Antonio Brown, the receiver on football team, stole his bike. So I always thought I always remember that.
Two things about him. It was always fun just locking him and Le'Veon Bell in every single slate. You knew, okay, here's what we're going to do today. We're going to lock in Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown, and half of the field is not smart enough to do that. And then that's how we won cash games.
Especially at home.
Huh?
Especially when they were at home.
Oh, they would just crush those two guys in particular. Just lock them in. The other
would his Boston Canton be with or without a shirt? The top half where it goes down with the collar or whatever, and they show the top, the neck part. Maybe just have it go down a little bit more with nothing.
Frostbitten foot. You remember that when he was at the Raiders in camp? And he hadn't started his shit yet. He reported, and he couldn't do anything because he was taking cryotherapy, and he got fucking frostbite on his foot, his toes. It's just one
better there than somewhere else, Holden.
Huh?
Better be frostbite there than somewhere else.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. I'm an AB guy. I love him. I loved watching this. He actually made me a lot of money, won me fantasy titles and stuff like that. But
winning fantasy titles.
It's helped.
Little humble.
Winning fantasy titles. JT Hayes won some fantasy titles with Amon-Ra St. Brown there, huh?
That's good, JT.
Right.
Yeah.
There. Yeah. So so this is the thing. We're doing the Off the Chalk show on Sunday. It's like week 11 or something like that. Week 12, whatever it is. And I think Tambo starts talking about the Detroit wide receivers. And this was to the point in the season where Jared Goff had done nothing. None of these receivers had separated themselves. And he starts talking about wanting to play either Khalif Raymond or Amon-Ra St. Brown. And it turned out he wasn't wrong, right? But I'm listening to him like, what do you want? What, Detroit? We're talking about the Lions? And I was like, I don't want to play some guy named Amon-Ra St. Brown. And it was great because I have now played him every week since. And as I responded to AP's tweet today, I'm in one season-long league for work. And 2 weeks ago, I'm going on the waiver wire because I think it was Elijah Moore for the Jets goes on the COVID IR. And I see Amon-Ra's available. And I pick him up, and sure enough, his 31 points yesterday, boom, take me home.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done now.
Yeah, we all care about your fantasy team, buddy.
Hey, I hasn't asked about it.
No, he didn't ask about your fantasy team, and I think Uncle T asked you. Yeah, JT did. GT.
I'm going to put the Jayhawks game on and give you play-by-play.
No, I'm watching it now. I couldn't wait any longer. I got it on.
I care, JT.
Did you, Uncle T? Because it looked like you were just completely spaced off looking at something else off screen.
I was listening. I actually turned the Kansas game on right when he started to talk.
So you were watching the game while he was talking as well.
Well, my Kansas State team is up 21-0 over LSU in this football game.
G-Rizen, what were you doing during JT's story?
What was I doing? I was texting.
Texting or texting?
I was texting.
Texting.
Texting some.
So
stuff.
just for the count,
I was sending dick pics.
I was watching Kansas. Uncle T was watching Kansas, and G-Rizen was texting dick pics during JT Hayes' story about.
Do you know why I don't feel bad? Do you know why I don't feel bad?
I don't care if you do or not.
Because I think you will care. I think you will care because Uncle T is the only one within like a reasonable blood alcohol level Stingy.
That is confirmed.
Other than myself right now. So I don't care what you're doing, Holden. Graybeard. Jesus.
Graybeard.
So is that good for Uncle T or bad?
He's got a Kansas hoodie on with Kansas across the back.
He does. Look at that beautiful Jayhawk.
It should say Kushner across the back.
No.
Hey, I want to ask Uncle T a question since it's his home team. Holy shit, Ja'Marr Chase is good. Like, damn, man.
Look, I wasn't going to bring it up. I hate victory lap and JT. Look, he's already grinning. He knows where I'm going to go with this. And let me think if I want to – hold on. I got to think.
Yeah, because my comeback's going to be pretty vicious. So go ahead.
I'm not a very big victory lap guy. But since G-Rizen brought it up, and he didn't even know he was bringing it up, but there was a certain couple people in the coordinators Discord chat on Sunday that seemed to think that my Bengals were, 1, overmatched, 2, due for a letdown after the Ravens win, and 3, it was just a bad matchup for them. And I mean, Joey B threw for about 460 and 4 touchdowns and beat the team that I was being told that was just unbeatable. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to name names because one of them could or may not be on this show right now. And there could be a couple listen tomorrow. So I'm not going to go there, but G-Rizen, I do love Ja'Marr Chase and Joe Burrow, and I think they're for real. I really do.
Yeah, so let me tell you what happened now.
Well, we really didn't go to you yet, JT.
Well, it's my fucking now that the bullshit session is over, let me tell you what happened. So let me and G-Rizen's leaving, which is
just
sad.
left. But G-Rizen's like, fuck this.
He needs another 6 Modelo's.
I'll stay here with you, JT.
I don't care. I'll stay here with you, buddy. I'll talk to myself. So I'm in the middle of Montana. And I'm getting ready to go clay shooting, and very exciting. It's minus 15 degrees outside. So we come in to the little hut there, and I take out my phone and I say, hey, let me see what's going on in Discord. So I jump in Discord. There's like 50 messages in the gem finders, and Uncle T and AP are going back and forth. And all I did, here's what I said. I said, man, I like this game. I said, I'm a little concerned about, the fact that they beat down the Ravens last week. I'm a little worried about it. I didn't say anything else. That's all I said. This is Saturday afternoon. I didn't even really have enough time yet to dig in. And Uncle T comes back immediately. Oh, just like all the other donkeys. I'm like, whoa, wait a second. Are we having a conversation, or are you just going to attack me? So I was like, well, I say the last time they beat the Ravens, they actually lost to the Jets. That's a great reason for not liking them. LOL. So I just closed the phone, threw it, and went and I shot to take some of the aggression out because of how hurtful his attacks were. I was just like, I wanted to have a conversation. I wanted to hear his opinion. I love Joe Burrow. I love Ja'Marr Chase. I love that team. I just said 2 things, and I just got attacked. I said, you know what? This is what I do now when I face irrational people.
Pull him out. Holden, this is when you use your job and you just kind of yank him off the screen.
When I face irrational people, I just stop, and I go elsewhere.
You just try to get him off the screen like Showtime at the Apollo. G-Rizen watched Showtime at the Apollo.
Hell yeah. Gong your ass right on out. Gong.
I think JT has a 50-50, 0% chance Uncle T watched Showtime at the Apollo.
Who?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the dance? Soul Train. What about Soul Train? Did you ever watch Soul Train on Saturday morning?
Yeah. Little Soul Train.
You like Soul Train, right?
Yeah.
That was a fun show. Just happy people dancing to music, probably high on cocaine, copious amounts, but still looked like they were having a lot of fun. Just like we are here. It's wonderful to be back with our boys. Anything else happen, Uncle T, over the Christmas break, whether it be New Year's? Do you have the COVID again? Now your nephew has the COVID. What is going on with the poor Niehaus family here?
Big T had it pre-Christmas when we went to lunch one day. I think it was maybe the 23rd. And then he wasn't able to make any of the Christmas stuff. And then the day after is when my family got it. So my wife and daughter got it. I thought I had it again, but I tested negative. I ended up having the flu. So, yeah, it was 3 of the 5 had COVID and 1 had the flu out of the 5 of us. So But hey, it's all good.
You're feeling good now. G-Rizen,
Yeah.
I feel like last time I talked to you was something about an elf in a shelf. It was a long time ago we talked about this. I still have yet to get one.
You'll have to do that next year. I mean,
Yeah,
you
what
got
did you
young
do
kids.
this year?
You gotta have fun with them.
What happened in the holidays since I last was with you? Any parties?
Yeah, I went and hung out a few times with some friends at some Christmas parties. Yep, had a good time. One night, Uncle T and I were going back and forth, and I was having a good time. We were playing cornhole outside. It was like 25 degrees. We were playing cornhole outside. You know, we were having at it. Me and a few of my buddies, we were having a good time. So
did you and Uncle T?
I was heavily medicated for like 3 days straight. I messaged you back and forth.
I think it was New Year's Eve, actually.
Ooh. Hope I didn't.
Didn't I send a picture to you, like go like this, and I think I had a big fat stogie in my mouth.
No recollection of that.
Oh,
wow,
boy.
really?
Man, who was on edibles?
Did I make fun of Holden or anything? Or
Uncle T right now is like, uh-oh, I hope I didn't send those dick pics.
Let me go check my phone while you're finishing up. Did I say anything wrong?
Uncle T, you were so smashed that you don't even remember this conversation with G-Rizen.
I was on medication, Holden. I don't drink.
What'd you take?
I was on pretty good stuff. I ain't gonna lie. I was knocked out. I was combining stuff. I was asking my wife, "Hey, should I be combining this and this with this? And do you think it'd be all right if I did, two of these at once?" I mean, it was crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Was it ivermectin?
No.
Oh, all right.
I can't. There's a lot of people that listen to this show, JT, and a couple of them may be my doctors. So I don't. I better not.
Okay.
I better not say. There actually is one. One of my doctors does listen to the show. I'm not gonna lie.
Which body part?
Excuse me?
Which body part does he take care of?
He's my orthopedic surgeon.
Okay, so
he's the one that operated on my elbow.
How's your elbow doing all these years later, Uncle T?
It's doing real good.
Yeah, no feel anymore, right?
Excuse me. What do you mean? I don't know. Have no
no
feeling.
pain.
Oh, you
no
mean it
pain.
doesn't hurt anymore? No.
Yeah.
I actually go for my 1-year checkup here on the 13th.
Now JT Hayes
take a look
is yawning. He's done. So let's go back to JT Hayes and see if he can redeem himself for his god awful.
You got Winnie the Pooh in the corner of business, but what the hell is Winnie the Pooh back there for? Did you get that up in Montana when you were in that little hut that you were talking about earlier? Did you come out of the hut with the little Winnie Pooh doll?
No, that was the Hut of Rage. That's where I got the shotgun and the shells. And
I sent him that.
No.
You got to unzip the back, and all the weed and edibles are in there for him. I sent him that.
There's definitely none of that in there. That's one of my dog's toys, and it was in here, and I was like, I didn't know what to do with it, and I said, let me just put it here. So there it is. I actually think it's a nice addition. I might keep it.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I was just. Well,
I don't care if you like it.
I'm very upset on it. I ain't gonna lie.
Very upset.
Again, I don't understand why anyone would go to Montana in the middle of the winter. You could shoot fucking whatever you were shooting, clay ducks or something in warm weather at any point in time. Why would you go to the middle of nowhere to do things you could do in comfortable weather?
Do they have a buffalo petting zoo there?
They might have. The answer is my wife wanted to go. We were going with some friends, and turned out to be fun. So
a little couples retreat. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Now it's starting to come together, Pepper. It's starting to come together.
How much workbench did you get? You got some?
One of the things. So we went into this bar in Whitefish, Montana, and I'd never seen.
Is this going to be 30 seconds or less, or is this going to be a long one?
I'm looking forward to this one because it must have with sex or something.
It's going to be 30 seconds or less, Uncle T. But you do what you need to do. Anyway, in a square around the bar where you would put your drink was a cooling coil. So you put the beer on or whatever you're drinking on this coil, and it didn't get warm. So if you took a little longer to drink, it was fine. And I loved it. I don't know why I haven't seen it elsewhere in the United States, but it was a fantastic thing. So it was a very instructive trip for me.
A very instructive trip, and that is wonderful to hear, JT Hayes.
Thank you.
Still doesn't make any sense. But whatever, dude. Seriously, like you allowed your first. How many times did you hit the workbench? Multiples? 0? Did you do 0?
No.
I got over.
Over what? 0?
Whatever your number is, I got over.
All right,
JT gets the job done.
my thing for JT Hayes, it should be over under 1.5.
Oh, way over.
Way over. G-Rizen.
That's
Over
insulting.
under.
You know what? Can I mute you?
Probably.
I'm on JT's side. I'm way over here.
G-Rizen,
1.5?
break the tie.
Holden, he was gone for a week.
I mean,
Week?
I want to know, did they play Naked Twister?
I'm nothing but nice to Holden, and all he does is bring
Right,
out
I agree, JT. I
bring
agree.
it up.
with you.
Second. First of all, you're not. I think you called me a cunt on at least one occasion on this show.
Not today.
Don't even
Not
start
today.
with me.
Not today.
Not today.
That was me.
First of all, get the fuck out of here with that.
Not yet.
Second of all, I mean, we're just a bunch of old guys bullshitting. It's not like your wife listens to this. How many times did you
Definitely not.
bench? Over under 1.5.
I just told you. I told you that's an insulting line. It's an insulting
I
line.
agree.
Less than 1.5 is
It's a
zero.
line. If I saw that line as a Vegas line, I would laugh at it.
Can I
Okay.
give a more
Ask you.
realistic? I want to give a more realistic.
In a
line.
week
One
at
and a
his
half-
age?
1.5 per day.
Oh, that's a lot. I mean, who even wants their cock feeling that way by the end of the week? It's raw
I mean,
and
1.5.
uncomfortable.
I mean, 2 times a day, one in the morning and one when you go to bed.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Start over the next day.
I mean, that's a great plan for
about.
about 3 days. And then you're like, eh.
Yeah, but he was only there that long, so that's 6. Your 1.5 is what he's saying is insulting. It should be at
All
least
right. New
3.5.
line, 3.5.
Over.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
Over. Okay. Good for you, JT Hayes.
You want my Venmo, Holden?
no, but the true question should be: we understand that, but what we'd want to know, like the sporadic in the middle of the day, like let's go behind the beach hut over here, or the shack.
The beach hut.
Those are the more fun stories, like let's go tuck into the janitor's closet in the hotel real fast and get one going.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the more fun stories. Like, I mean, to ask how many times, that's not as fun. I mean,
Did mention it was
maybe you got a pickle tickle under the table.
-15. -15. There's no activity outside. Activity outside was limited to trying to stay away from a hypothermic coma.
-15, man. Even if you peed outside, that would be rough.
Yeah. JT Hayes is the reason why I'm divorced. One of the many reasons why would be if my ex-wife had asked me to go to Montana, I would have told her to go fuck herself. And she could go by herself. There's no way in hell you're dragging me to Montana in the middle of fucking winter to shoot fucking clays in 15 below.
That was just one thing we did. That was just one thing.
What else did you do?
We
Sex,
drank a lot.
food, and what else?
Drank a lot.
That was it. You're tanked for days watching Murder, She Wrote reruns on the television.
JT, I gotta stop this. Holden, you're being too hard. I think you're landing on a little too hard. JT, I give you credit for going out there with your wife.
Why?
I mean, I wouldn't have done it, but I'm saying it in your spot, in the situation you were in, you were backed into a corner. You did it, and I think that's honorable of you.
You wasn't back to the corner.
Truth be told, it wasn't so much I was backed into a corner. Is the 39 times I was told what we were doing, I was like not paying attention and doing something else. I was like, yeah, sure, sounds great. What? Oh, our flight's at 8:00 to Whitefish. What? Whitefish.
I mean, do you have the proper attire and clothes living down in Atlanta, Georgia for this type of excursion, or did you have to go to the store and buy yourself some warmer gear?
G-Rizen. Nobody goes to
worry
stores
about
anymore.
G-Rizen.
Nobody goes to stores.
Right.
Amazon and some other websites delivered a lot of lovely things, and it was just enough to keep me alive. So it worked out well.
G-Rizen, do you still try to find leaded fuel at gas stations? Anything?
I still got my Gremlin outside that I drive and pick up chicks in.
This guy over here, G-Rizen, my goodness. Thank God it's week 18. Why is there such tomfoolery on the show? The answer is that it's week 18, and there's really nothing to say at this point in the week as we tape this on Tuesday night.
Big T's still listening because he usually tunes us out when the football talk starts. So let's just keep going so that he has to keep listening.
But at least we're not talking about Jalen Hurts getting killed.
Oh, stop. Please stop with that. They were 4 feet in the air. They were 4 feet in the air. But it make it seem as if they were on top of the Empire State Building, falling on people. I mean,
they were Eagles fans too.
Did you guys see this or hear about this Joe Judge press conference?
Yeah, I saw it.
Did you see it? Did you see it?
Yeah.
I thought this was a pretty amazing thing, right? So you guys remember the Lee Elliott press conference, right?
Baseball manager, a long time ago.
Oh, Chicago lights up the fans, right? So this was that, but without any of the entertaining parts. And what he tries to do is basically he's trying to, in his mind, take responsibility for the failures of the team. And instead, by saying he's not throwing the players under the bus, he's throwing the players under the bus. He trashes the last 2 coaches, but he does one thing that's going to be interesting this Sunday. And it's the only reason to watch this fucking game. He says to the New York fans, and you can boo my ass if you think we're playing badly. So the only reason, now we have a reason to watch the Washington football team and the Giants, which is just to see how loud the decibel level gets in MetLife when these fans give him his wish in what really should be his last game.
It was a very quick stint. Like, it just didn't work out. Gettleman was a disaster because when he drafted Daniel Jones, he said, I'm staking my job on this guy. And it never worked out. And the Saquon pick was a bad pick. It's just, he's the worst. He's gone. He's gone. Judge should be gone too.
And Judge, wants to stay. I know that's the right thing, that he should want to stay. But in reality, I think the best thing for Judge, if he has, any talent to be a coach, I don't even know with the team that he has, is to get let go now. Because if the rumors are true that Gettleman goes and they bring in someone new, he's not going to have enough talent to do anything with next year, and he'll just be delaying his release by a year. So he should go now.
G-Rizen, are you with us?
Yeah, man.
Did you guys – I got to bring something up. Did you guys see the press conference from Mike Zimmer?
Yes. Kellen Mond?
Yes. The reporter says, do you want to see Kellen Mond next week? He pauses and says, not particularly. I mean, how stone cold is that?
Kellen Mond must have just been a dick to him, in order to – because that was just flat out disrespectful, right? And then he was asked the next day, and he, tripled down on it.
I see him every day.
I see him every day. I see him every day. I mean, he really must hate this kid.
I think the first question you could excuse, right? They just got trounced by the Packers. Season's over. His job is in flux. But the next day, just keep on going. Instead of something a little softer like, we're going to go with Sean. We'll see what happens. Nope. Not a chance in hell.
You might as well just come out and say, Mond's a piece of shit. I'll never play him. Fire me.
As long as I'm the coach.
I really wonder what happened for them to hate each other that much. You don't like Week 18, Uncle T. For me, I'm just a football guy that I love football so much. I don't care. It's preseason, Week 18, Super Bowl. It's all good to me. You, on the other hand, for DFS-wise, I love Week 18, maybe like the early slate and the late slate, and especially the Saturday slate.
I mean, I don't particularly love it, but obviously I'm going to play it. But yeah, not a big fan of it. Do you like Kendrick Bourne this week? Can I interest you in some Kendrick Bourne this week?
I'm going to pull a what we usually do here at RPS and just completely to triple down upon tripling down. Let's just say now Kendrick Bourne is not going to blow up, but I'll just say it, Uncle T. Yes, Kendrick Bourne.
I was actually kidding with that question. You're seriously going to play him?
If I play 10 lineups this week, I will play him in one just for spite.
Hey, I got my Sharpie. I'm going to mark that down right now.
Yeah, just for spite, to spite myself.
How much is he?
I don't know. I haven't even looked yet. It's
He
week
doesn't
18,
know.
dude. That's why I'm saying we're here on a Tuesday night. Big deal. We don't know how much Green Bay is going to play their starters. We don't, there's so much up in the air. To talk DFS and to think what's going to happen right now. You guys got any thoughts on any of these teams? In all seriousness, on a Tuesday night.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to play when some people think he's going to play.
I do. I think he'll minimum a half, probably 3/4. They're not going to sit those guys for 3 weeks. It's not going to happen.
I'd love to get. Can I get $100 that he won't play 3/4? I'll send you my Venmo now.
How about a half?
I'll prepay you $100. You send
How about
me
a half
back when you lose.
He'll play 2/4, a half,
You
at
just
least
said
a half.
3.
Huh? I'm going 2.
He's revising the stakes.
Yeah.
Do you see how quick it's like the Homer Gibson?
He's going to play a half. All right, he's going to play a half.
I don't even know about that. This is a guy who's been yelling about his toe for the last 10 weeks. So we'll see. But I mean, to just give Uncle T something that makes him feel good because he's such a homer for the Bengals.
Here comes a backhanded compliment. Go ahead. I mean, it's almost
you
like
talk about the Bengals, otherwise you're gonna fall asleep in the corner. But
it's almost like when somebody starts a sentence with "no disrespect" and you're about to get disrespected. Go ahead, JT.
That my voice is thick with disrespect. So no. So I think the Bengals defense was a good play before Baker Mayfield got rolled out, but that's kind of like two plays that stand out to me: the defenses of Cincinnati and the Washington football team. That's where I'm at on Tuesday.
Wow. I love that. Recommending a defense on the Wishbone. We haven't done that very often.
G-Rizen, what would you like to
love that actually
add to the conversation?
I mean, you look at the teams that really have something to play for. You look at some of them like it matters. Like that Charger game with the Raiders. That's a big game that has implications that, there really isn't too much maneuver to go on. And with the things you need to have happen, certain teams, the teams are like the Colts. I mean, the Colts are playing the stinking Jaguars. I mean, if the Colts actually lose to the Jags, the Raiders and Chargers can agree to tie, and they both make the playoffs. Like they could literally just say, we'll tie, we'll both make the playoffs if that happens. But, there's just, I like to look at what teams have something to play for. There really isn't much going on as far as, like, maneuvering that's going to happen. But that Charger and Raider game is probably one of the biggest games that has implications on what's going to, happen.
That is the big game.
Holden, who I like in that Green Bay game?
A.J. Dillon?
Because Rodgers isn't going to play. A.J. Dillon.
Yeah.
6,200, I believe he is.
All right.
Against G-Rizen's Detroit Lions.
Yeah,
Crickets.
I just think, obviously, like you said, it's Tuesday. I mean, it's just it's almost for as much other sports that we play. I get asked that quite a bit. There's times where I really dive into NFL on Saturday and Sunday. I mean, anymore, it's just it almost seems like I'd rather put my efforts into looking into a college slate or an NBA slate or something like that than me trying to maneuver myself through some NFL that could literally just change over, with some news or whatever else. But yeah, I'm kind of glad this season's almost over. I'm ready for this COVID stuff. I mean, it just made it even more difficult, but
I'm ready for baseball.
Yeah, I'm ready for some baseball too. I'm missing baseball. I'm getting to that point.
We might not have baseball.
I know.
I hope we do. I mean,
we might not.
Yeah, so. It's possible we may not. Definitely.
I would bet. If I were betting, I would bet the season is delayed at a minimum.
Correct.
Agreed.
Correct.
Yep.
It's the one sport that decides to just beat the shit out of itself constantly. It just can't get out of its own way. They really can't.
It's the one sport where the players have all the leverage.
Yeah.
And they know it. And
well, the NBA is like that now too.
Yes, but the money there is so much more concentrated that I think it's a lot more difficult for them to give that cash up, right? Because here you have so many more guys. It's just interesting.
Well, gentlemen, I think it's enough. I'll bid you all adieu.
What are you going to do when this ends, Holden?
I'm going to go watch the end of the Kansas game.
Okay. All right. Do you have a caretaker? Should I call
No, I don't need a caretaker.
Colorado Health and Human Services for you? Someone to come over?
No, I don't have any pets here. Everything's fine, pal. I'm going to sleep well. It's a wonderful day. I got to the gym, walked on the treadmill for 30 minutes, came home. I was exhausted. It's just a sad state of affairs over here. G-Rizen, wonderful to see your smiling face as well.
You know, I missed you three fools last week. So you guys stuck me with them youngsters, like I said. So I was pretty happy to see your three's faces. And
did Rubio say anything dumb again?
You know, the smartest thing Rubio said was he let off the show and said that G-Rizen is the best cornhole player at RPS. And, you know, I said that I appreciated that. He said, but after you get about 20 beers in, it's downhill from there, which exactly what happened. But it was fun talking with those youngsters.
Sort of like what it's going to be like to view this.
Right. Right.
Speaking of the cornhole, we got, now that we've turned the new calendar over, we've only got a couple months left before maybe that March Madness little get-together at Big T's again. I'm going to have to try to start kind of putting a bug in his ears, seeing if
guess
we
who's
can
coming this
Holden,
year?
maybe even get Holden an invite.
Guess who's coming this year? Guess who already said, oh, the children are on spring break. I will take them these days. I will likely be gone these 5 days.
He invited you?
No, I'm coming. Don't matter if he invites me.
Oh, yeah. I don't think he's necessarily made the decision on that yet, but if he does, I'd love to see you, but I'm not. I mean, right now it's 50-50. G-Rizen is probably 50-50.
He's throwing that thing. Throwing that thing.
Hey, Tidal likes to sleep butts to nuts, so that's your bunk, buddy.
JT's the guy that we got to get back. I mean, the guy stayed at a hotel last time.
That's the way to do it, JT.
You know.
G-Rizen's over there shitting in the big man's master bedroom. JT Hayes is nice.
That wasn't me. That was Mangone shitting in Big T.
That's right, man.
I was blowing it up in the garage.
What a disrespectful move. Who does that? Seriously, who does that? The nerve of Mangone.
How about Mangone doing a RPS show from Big T's workbench? That's the thing that's one of the more underrated things in the history of our company so far. Mangone doing a show from Big T's workbench.
Big power move.
Very power move.
Is it really?
I think so.
Like if you took
I haven't
black
done it.
light to that bed, you probably would not. Well, actually, he likes tapping it in the shower. So you're right. That is a power move.
He likes tapping it in the shower.
That's what he says all the time. He says the only place is the shower.
Tap.
Yeah. I always found it difficult. Natural lubrication with water is not a wonderful mixture.
Simon.
You got to say the rest of it.
Get us out of here.
What is happening, guys? Allie here to give you an update on all the big wins from this past week by our great Rumpier Sports hosts and members. Our guy Uncle Dunkle led the charge with over 40K in NFL winnings for week 16. Huge congrats to longtime RPS member D-Rock for his 24K NBA hit on Christmas. The Lil Jordan Humphrey love was strong in the Discord on Monday and led to some huge wins on the Showdown slate. Surprise, surprise, Big T had another big night, pulling in over 100K across sites on the Dolphins Saints Showdown slate. This was just a few days after shipping another 150K in NBA. Big T wasn't the only one repping Rumpier Sports with a big hit. Shout out to Quick on to Cribs, who also took down 24K on Monday's NFL Showdown slate. Meanwhile, Tway Rich hit for over 35K across sites, and Joseph Swartz shipped 215K on DraftKings. The wins just keep piling up in the RPS universe, which could only mean one thing. There is no better time to join than right now. We've recently teamed with SaberSim to offer a great deal on a combo subscription where you can access all of our content and their great optimizer and projection system for one low price. Head on over to rumpiersports.com to get the deal now and start running pure with us.